Welcome to another installment of Movie Night with Ebba and Linnea. The voice speaking right now is mine, and my name is Ebba.
And I am Linnea, and I apologize for my voice. I have had a cold, so it's not. My voice is not perfect at the moment, but I hope you can hear me anyway.
If you want to, you could say that it makes you sound kind of sultry and sexy.
Well, that's good.
So anyway, we watched a movie to discuss this hour, and it's called Abraxas, Guardian of the Universe from 1991. It includes stars such as Jesse Ventura, and then nobody else. So, any first
Like
thoughts?
boring as shit. Oh, actually, shit is more interesting than this, but yeah, boring.
I think bad is a word that you can use. Like it's bad, but it's funny. This is just it's not even bad. It's just so uninteresting. Oh man, do not watch this. Oh yeah. So you're good at describing plots.
Am I? I don't know if I am, but okay.
Well, you're at least good at making it shorter than I am. So would you do the honors of this?
Two guys, Abraxas and Secundus, and they are some sort of alien galactic policemen of some kind. And they live for a very long time, but Secundus wants eternal life. That's his goal, and that's what makes him the bad guy, apparently. But anyway, in order to get eternal life, he needs someone to solve an equation of some kind. I don't remember what they called it. It was like the life equation or something.
Anti-life equation.
Anti-life equation. That's what it was. And he wants to create this person who can solve this equation. He does that by going to Earth, impregnating a woman by like putting his hand on her belly, and that's it. And she gives birth in like an hour or something. But this child will apparently be able to solve this equation. But Secundus is arrested by Abraxas and sent to prison. But then I think like 5 years later or something, Secundus escapes and he goes to Earth to try to find his son. And Abraxas goes after him and finds the boy and the boy's mother, Sonia, and tries to protect him from Abraxas, basically. It's essentially a Terminator ripoff, but it's a very, very bad Terminator ripoff.
Yeah, I wrote down as you were talking, like it's kind of like Highlander meets Terminator
Yeah.
in the worst possible way.
Yes.
It's and I mean you kind of explained it. I mean you made it sound very reasonable, and I mean compared to the way my mind was just battling constantly, what's going on, where, why all the time while watching this. And there is a lot of like narration going on because Jesse Ventura, who I had to look him up. I did recognize the name, but I had to look up what he was, and he's some sort of like world what WE whatever it's called, wrestling dude, and he's doing a lot of narration, which explains what's going on and like some facts about this world he comes from, and none of it makes sense. And then they're talking at points about what's going on, and you still don't. I mean, I at least. I'm not going to say you, as in everybody, but I didn't understand what was going on. And at some point, I honestly lost interest in what was going on as well. I was like, well, I don't give a shit. I don't care.
I don't blame you. Yeah, and the fact that they need a narrator is usually not a good indication. Movies with narrators is you should be able to tell that through the visuals and the dialogue and not the narration. But okay, yeah.
Because like this whole anti-life anti-life equation thing that they keep talking about, and they keep like talking about, oh, you need to impregnate someone. It doesn't. You don't. It's not. You can't even understand it, because I don't think they really got it either. They wanted a Terminator, like you said. They wanted a Terminator movie, and man, did they fail. Did they fail?
Yeah, just an interesting note. Speaking of Terminator, okay, so in Terminator you have the bad guy, played by Arnold Schwarzenegger, and he speaks with an accent. And the bad guy Secundus in this one also speaks with an accent. I think he's from Denmark originally. So just a nice, with quotation mark, connection there to Terminator.
There's one scene when the bad Secundus, the bad man Secundus, he robs a family who's very unfortunate to get in the way of this man. And they're off camping, and he just steals their van or something. And that is very Terminator, just in the way he speaks and moves and everything. And then that comes up many other times in the movie as well. But that was like very rip-off of Terminator. It's kind of funny, because we talked about Star Crash the previous episode, and now we're talking about this movie, and both of these are rip-offs.
Yes.
Very clearly rip-off, and we didn't know that. At least I didn't when we picked these two out. It was just random, and they're both rip-offs of very big movies. So bad plot and uninspired acting is one thing, but sometimes a fun environment or fun like outfits, like we always come back to, can save a movie.
Yeah,
What do you have to say about that in this movie?
I mean, the plot and the acting in Star Crash was not fantastic either, but that movie was fun because it was enjoyable to look at. But Abraxas is just, I don't know, so dull and grey and brown and just not fun at all. And like the cinematography is so I don't know how to describe it. Just really dull. And there's a lot of scenes in, like, you know, when they stole Secundus stole the camper's car, for example. That was like in a opening in the forest, and it's just brown leaves all around, and I'm like, this is not interesting to look at. And the camera work also kind of uninspired, nothing special. So yeah, just so boring.
Yeah. One of the main problems is like there's nothing for your eye to rest on or catch your attention. You're just, wherever your eye lands on the screen, it's gonna be blue, black, or brown, and that is a problem when you've got nothing else going for a movie.
The very first Terminator film was pretty dark as well, but
yeah,
it was more exciting because it had, first of all, it had more variations, I think, in the scenes and the locations, and it also had like car chases, which was interesting, which I don't think Abraxas had any. It was just talking, a lot of talking in Abraxas.
There was one like a motorbike, dirt bike, I think, dirt bike.
I don't remember that.
Well, I barely remember it, so I don't know. And I think, like, if you want to compare, like, well, I mean, it's obvious you're going to compare it to Terminator, but also in Terminator, you've got the added bonus of having a very attractive man, aka Arnold Schwarzenegger. Very, very nice to look at.
Yeah, whereas, also Linda Hamilton and the guy who plays Kyle Reese, they're, I think, pretty good looking too.
Yeah, so very, very, very many attractive people. In this movie, you've got, I mean, I'm guessing people who watched this or were excited for this movie back in 1991 were people who were fans of Jesse Ventura. I'm guessing he had somewhat of a fan base that would go and buy or rent this movie to make it semi-profitable for the amount of zero money they spent on making this movie. For the minority who likes this movie, probably like it because it's got Ventura in it. But as somebody who knows nothing at all about Ventura, there's no charm to him, there's no charisma. He kind of has this flat way of talking that also makes him kind of sound like a child. I don't know how to explain it, but it sounds very childish. And what's your opinion on Jesse Ventura as the leading sexy man in this movie?
I would say he's like the least bad part in it. I wasn't a big fan of him, but the guy playing Secundus, the bad guy, not very interesting either to look at or to as an actor. The woman playing Sonia, I don't know anything about her, but I thought she was very bland in this. That might partly be because of how the character was written, but I also think it was partly her acting that was just not that great. The boy, the child, he doesn't speak anything in the film, so at least he wasn't annoying, which otherwise child actors has a tendency to be. But he's also not. I mean, the story is centered around him, but he doesn't really have anything to do in the film except towards the very, very end of it. So yeah, Abraxas was semi-interesting, I guess. I mean, far from a great character, but I understood his motivations and his character at least.
True. Also, like you bring up the boy, I think he couldn't speak. He didn't speak at all. He said hi once, but I think that was kind of like a blooper that stayed in the movie. But he didn't speak at all. So, I mean, when you have an alien baby coming to live on Earth, like essentially from a rape, I mean, you want to care for the boy because you're supposed to. But I mean, it's hard to tell if he's even human at all.
Mm-hmm.
Especially when you make him not speaking. And I mean, you're supposed to think that he's, because of this, he's a victim at school, and you're supposed to feel sad for him and empathy. But I think he should have just spoke. I don't get that thing. I didn't get why they.
No, I didn't understand either. I think he could speak, but he chose not to.
Well, they said there was nothing physically wrong with him.
Yeah.
Then the principal alluded to him being angry because his mom wasn't with, I don't know, some silly thing.
Yeah, but I also have a vague memory of it was either Abraxas or Secundus sort of hinting that the boy didn't speak because he had the solution to the anti-life equation, and speaking would like mean something either bad or good for the universe, and the boy didn't really want to use that power, I guess. I don't. Maybe I misremember.
So if he said, "I want breakfast," then.
I mean, we're trying to make sense of a movie that doesn't actually make sense, but I have a vague memory of that being implied that speaking would mean using his power of some kind, but I don't know.
The whole using an Earth female for solving I don't know, this whole raping females and giving birth to weird alien babies in a day or in an hour, it's really, really creepy. I don't know if people who made and make these kind of movies realize exactly how fucking horrifying it is as a female with the genitalia to produce children. How horrifying it is to watch something like that. It's very common trope, and it's been made in better or worse ways, but it's still terrifying. Wouldn't you agree?
Yes, definitely. I think if you want to see a film with a human woman having a baby with an alien, and it is consensual, I would watch Starman with Jeff Bridges and I don't remember her name, but yeah, that's a really good film.
Yeah.
And I believe there was also a sequel to that one. I haven't seen it, but the first film at least is very good and not at all rapey or creepy or such.
Yeah. If you want to go there, then go there all the way and just blatantly make like a horror sci-fi movie. Two classic examples would be Alien, obviously. Where people are getting impregnated left and right. And also I think Xtor is a very good example of like doing it in a very deliberately horror sci-fi and being kind of smart about it, which also goes for Alien. But this sort of like offhanded, or whatever you want to call it, offhanded alien pregnancy, or woman gives birth to an alien baby and then takes care of it, cares for it.
Yeah, regarding that part, it's very weird. So she's, in the beginning, she's impregnated by Secundus, and then she gives birth in like an hour, and she goes home to her parents, and they're like, you had a baby, you can't stay here, so they throw her out, but they never question how she had a baby in like a night. Like they, she's been out with her friends for like a night at the party or something, and they're like, oh, you had a baby, you can't stay here. But never ask, how can you have a baby? You've been living with us for the past months. How is that possible? No, never ask that.
Just one of the problems. The big pile of problems.
Yeah. And they do later sort of build up towards a romance between Abraxas and Sonya, which I was like, yeah, I don't want that.
That was so strange because they were hinting of a romance between the deputy and Sonya, because he was trying to ask her out for dinner and he was failing at it. So I was like, well, he's gonna save her somehow, and then they're gonna be like, let's have that dinner finally, and he's gonna put his hand on the boy's shoulder and they're gonna walk off into the McDonald's horizon. But that didn't happen. Instead, they share one awkward kiss in a kitchen, and then he stays there.
Yeah, that was. Oh no, I didn't. I mean, first of all, they had no chemistry, but also I thought the plot-wise it was weird because she has essentially been raped by an alien, had a kid, and now there's another alien turns up and says, "Oh, I'm gonna protect you from the first alien." And she's like, "Okay," and it's like, "Oh, you're pretty hot. I want to kiss you." And then they kiss, and it's like, "Okay, we're gonna stay together." I'm like, "Why would you stay with him? Why?"
This movie kind of leaves you speechless. To be honest, when it's done, it's like, oh, finally.
Yes.
I'm free. There's no way I would have finished this movie if it wasn't for the fact that we were gonna have a discussion for it. Like, no way. It's very much one of those movies. You need to be watching it with someone, so you can just like trash talk the shit out of it. Yeah. Do we feel comfortable leaving the discussion?
Yes.
This far?
Yes, I have nothing else to say about it. It's really bad film. Boring. Do not watch it.
I agree. Watch Highlander, Terminator, or Alien instead, or Starman.
Yes, all of those.
Any
are
of those.
Good. Yeah.
Much better movies. So let's go into Bang, Bond, or Blast. Abraxas, Guardian of the Universe edition. So Bang, Bond, Blast is a version of Fuck, Marry, Kill. So the three candidates for this very fun game is Abraxas, Secundus, and Sonya.
Do I have to choose? Well, of course, Blast, Secundus. I mean, that's not really a choice. And then I guess Bang, Abraxas, and Bond, Sonya. I mean, Sonya is kind of boring of a character, but she's human. But yeah. I mean, I think I could live with her, even though she's kind of boring. She's very inoffensive, but Abraxas, I don't think no, not my kind.
No. Yeah. And just things up, I'm gonna go a bit differently. Just to see if I can persuade myself to do so. But naturally, Blast, Secundus. It's not even an option to do anything else there, I'm afraid. But I'm gonna bang Sonya. Basically because she was the most attractive one in this whole movie. So
true.
Abraxas, I'm gonna marry him, and then I'm gonna talk him into taking me to space. Somehow he's gonna make that work. because Earth life with the mute nondescript boy seems so boring to me. So I'm going to talk Abraxas into taking me to space so I can be a space princess with amazing outfits.
Yeah, that's actually a very good plan. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, I could go with that too. Yeah, going into space. Yeah, I'm into it.
So, on to another question. If you could replace an actor of your choice with an actor in this movie to make the movie more better, interesting, funny, whatever, any era, whatever.
Honestly, I don't think that's possible. To make the film better. Because it's just not the actors that are the problem here. It's so much more. I mean, the standard answer would maybe be have Arnold Schwarzenegger in it, but he has some charisma at least, but it would still be a bad film. So I would just spare him that torture.
Good answer. Very, very sarcastically diplomatic. I like it. I approve. I'm gonna try. And I'm thinking Hulk Hogan.
Oh,
Keeping it wrestling themed.
yes,
So Hulk Hogan, because I think he's done some movies, well, at least cameos and things.
yes.
So I'm gonna place Abraxas. No, I'm gonna replace Secundas with Hulk Hogan because it's gonna be so ridiculous, and it just must be more entertaining than what we've got now. So
If you put The Rock as Abraxas, I would buy that. Yeah. I mean, I watch everything with The Rock in it.
yeah, well, very very good too. Very good too. So yeah, wrestle themed exchanges there. Yeah, I think we've discussed what we can discuss about this horrible piece of shit movie, and been mean or anything, but it's not good, and I too would not recommend it to anyone, not even an animal, to watch this.
Except I can see a situation. If you're a film student, I want to see how not to make a film. Then maybe, but yeah.
So thank you very much for listening to our discussion of this piece of shit movie.
Yes, and if you want to support us and see us continue making these videos, like this video, subscribe to our channel, and if you have any thoughts on Abraxas, Guardian of the Universe, share your thoughts in the comment section down below, and we will see you again soon. Bye bye.
Bye bye.